Alright guys, such coming here again today. Hope you're doing well and enjoying your day. So far, ZooMaa crashing out on the challenger scene, calling out a number of the players for not streaming their perspective in the way that they should be, reckoning they've got to take a leaf out of Shotzzy's book when it comes to streaming their POV if they want any chance of challengers continuing to grow, but also they want any chance of getting into the Pro League, which should be the final destination. Alluka, a couple of weeks back, he was all the talk of the town. People said he was going to FaZe, but after all the drama with FaZe over the last few days, is that still happening? Because he was cooking again last night going into the new year. Very much enjoyed your thoughts in the comments. Hit the like button if you enjoy. Subscribe if you're new as always. Plenty to get into. We are going to start off with a couple of updates on FaZe really because, well, we talked in depth over the last 3 days. What's happened behind the scenes at FaZe Clan. Why it's got to this point. It's still a little confusing exactly who remains. The FaZe Clan have unfollowed everyone. They say, they did a tweet that basically said it's over. This era of FaZe is over. We're now going to focus on the esports side. It implies they have no members any longer. Everyone is gone. Apex is gone. Banks is gone. All the key names are gone. ZooMaa's gone. He took FaZe Clan out of the bio. It's still there for the esports side, which is a different business with K-San and, Paul Hamilton, Eric Anderson, those guys that are running the show over there and, still, I think, doing a great job. Hopefully that will continue on the COD side as well. But people want to know, what's going on with Jev, what's going on with Scope, and because I think they've still got FaZe Clan in their bio, they're still running it up for now. It's all a bit confusing because nobody really knows what's going on with Jeff. He doesn't seem to have been aware that this is happening. He just keeps uploading his Elden Ring videos. So, yeah, people are just a little bit confused, right? Because he didn't mention what's going on with FaZe. So maybe we'll get an update on that in due course. Scope kind of says, well, when Jev goes, then I'm going to go as well type thing. But, I think from FaZe's side, this has probably already happened, to be honest. It's just a matter of semantics, I think. Now, FaZe Vegas say the following. An update on our future tomorrow, 3 PM Pacific time. Now, this is pretty spicy. We're going into the new year. There have been some expectations. Okay, what does this mean for FaZe Vegas? If I had to guess what this is, it's going to be a video that says, I don't know, Wolf of Wall Street, leave it or whatever, right? Like, I don't think it's going to affect FaZe. Vegas, obviously it affects FaZe. K-San says that it's not going to have any impact on the esports side. I think that, that probably is true for the immediate term. I think in the short, medium, longer term, there are questions on what this means for FaZe. But look, who knows? Could it be something else? Are they making another change? Could it be related to a new player? We're going to discuss in a few minutes' time. Going to be pretty interesting. But yeah, Simp's in the replies here. Again, they could just be saying nothing's changing despite all the drama. They could actually be giving a proper update. Who knows? I guess we'll see. ZooMaa has had a few good reasons to crash out over the last few days. The drama with FaZe, the drama with Challengers players, we'll get to in a second. Also some pretty funny stuff with the ZooMafia. Well, it's not funny from ZooMaa's perspective, because, ZooMaa says, it's not exactly funny from his side. He's got to deal with the stress of this. But there was a bit of drama here, right? So anyway, this Cadence, she tweeted out, so I get kicked from the ZooMafia cord with no explanation, but I can be called all these things. I have to screenshot and mute this word because YouTube hates this word. There are a number of words that YouTube hates, but if this word is even on the screen, the video gets demonetized. So anyway, obviously pretty bad stuff, right? So she gets called all these things, and she says she got banned for the kick from the Discord, but nothing happened to those people. Now, then it turned out, obviously just pretty, as CDL Pal said, right, person complained about getting slurs thrown at them when they use slurs themselves. So she confirms that she then was using the F slur, right? So you know what we're talking about here. Wasn't cool, but I legit don't even remember saying it. I know I did though. Sounds like me, a sob emoji. Thought it was pretty funny. Point is, friends report people calling them stuff 10 times worse, and these folks just get timed out. Why bother ticketing when nothing happens? I'd rather talk trash, have fun, and move on. Not trying to make ZooMaa look bad. He's got bots and admins handling Discord. Just saying to his admins, if it's a first offense, shouldn't be banned. Just saying. So, there's always drama about, what was it, Chandler or whatever, the moderators in this ZooMafia Discord. and whether there's favoritism or whatever, I don't know. I hear people talking about it quite often about the way that that's managed. Look, it's difficult to, as Kaden says, blame ZooMaa for all of this, but maybe there are some inconsistencies or some double standards, whatever you want to say. So ZooMaa then replies and says, look, sorry you were called these things. That shouldn't be happening. Those people should be held accountable, but it looks like you were bad for using the F slur. We noticed you never submitted a ticket about the things people said to you. And then, you know, they have a bit of a back and forth anyway. So just thought I'd leave it there for now, and you guys can feel free to read or research further if you wish in your own time. But speaking of ZooMaa, we've got to talk a little bit about the Stallions. So last night there was the conclusion of the cup. It wasn't like an actual CDL cup. They call it like a pup cup, but effectively it was no CDL cup this weekend, so they run a little tournament, not as much money, not as serious, but still pretty much all the teams will play in it, so you get to have another glimpse as to how things are looking in challenges. Now, Stallions Red, they eventually came up against Omit Brooklyn, so they made it to top 4. They did pretty well. Then they went down to Omit Brooklyn, that of course being Alluka, Fellow, Brack, and Nate. That's the current team they're running. Of course, interesting timing, because of all the Alluka talk a couple of weeks back after he had that dominant Challengers Cup on this Omit Brooklyn team and was linked heavily to going to FaZe, as we know. Again, we can see in the bottom left, we got this graphic or whatever because, well, as ZooMaa's about to talk about, let's say covering the mini-map in challenges continues to be a massive point of contention. Anyway, Stallions go down 3-0, was reasonably competitive, but on the final map on the Overload, Alluka goes 37-22. They take the victory. Lqgend, you know, he's definitely been improving. He's had some good highlights over the last couple of days, but it wasn't enough in the end. So Stallions, they bomb out top 4. Omit Brooklyn continue. There was also this highlight, and I'll share this for you guys in a second, of Alluka's POV, because we know that Octane was pretty, well, he was gassing up Alluka, right, when he was first coming around. We've seen his POV again last night. This is when they were playing Bush Gaming, Telluride Bush, you know, formerly TJ's team, of course. Now we think he's gone to the Surge, but Prolute, Spart, those boys, they are doing it again. This was, as I say, a pub cup, as they call it. But still, Octane reacts to Alluka slamming to eliminate T Bush. That was a talking point for sure, but they did not win the tournament because the tournament victory went to a Seams team, that being the Falcons Academy Greens. They've got 2 academies, Academy White, I think, which was Arcetes, Priester, and those guys, and then a Seams team with Roxas and, well, especially QK. He's been one of the key talking points over these last few days because he was cooking last time out at the Challengers Cup, even as Sold says himself, snaking 3K Invitational Champions, so maybe there was a bit of GA breaking going on. I love my team. Celium says, well, are you him? So, yeah, thought it was interesting to see Cell in the replies here. But now Cell's part of Falcons, he's going to be gassing up the boys that are also part of the team. So, that's that update, but I wanted to share a couple of clips here, certainly coming out of ZooMaa, because we might need to come together to help out the community a little bit on what things look like right now in challenges and whether big changes need to be made.
Focus on front.
I'm weak, Carson.
Let's zoom it, 1 moment.
I saw your otter.
Almost hurt.
Deep outer, really weak.
Oh my god.
Boy, you are so dog shit, bro.
We went off this, we went off this.
Outer,
Outer.
sport.
Outer.
Dead, they spawned out. Alright, go
Okay.
Nice, nice.
I'm staying front, I'm in close corner.
I have your otter.
Watch out, cap.
One shot.
Team K.
He TK'd, his half wall.
We can win with this, Wait, can we? No, we can't. We
Yeah,
can't.
two apple.
not anymore.
Yeah, I'm gonna go right.
One shot
He
little
put into
further.
this hold, bro.
I'm in P1.
Hold
Heard you.
This guy have gamer tag aura?
Heard you. I'm gonna play a slow P1.
You just see his name, get nervous, and stop shooting?
I got him. I'm waiting.
You
I'm
have
waiting
to,
for you
right?
guys.
I'm going
I
front.
someone mid. On
They're
time,
big
one
cube,
shot,
dead.
one shot on time. Enter. Ready? I'm
Dead.
nice.
GG.
Back still.
Damn, dude. Donnie was talking all that shit, and my boy Alluka just took him out back, man.
Middle. Shit on. I have you.
GG.
Holy
45 and
fucking shit.
18?
These guys are awful, bro.
You
45 and 18? God damn.
I got something to say, bro. All these players and challengers that are muting their streams and blocking minimap and this and that, it's just an excuse to just hide behind. They just want to hide. They don't want to show that shit. They just don't want to. They don't want to show when they do dumb shit. That's what it is, bro. They're bitches, bro. And anybody who, bro, you're not gonna sit here and tell me that you can't tell what's going on with or without the minimap. It just makes it annoying to watch from a viewer perspective, but everybody can still see what's going on.
He's like sitting on his
Like it's not like they're doing fucking like it's not like anything they're doing is fucking rocket science, bro. It's not rocket science. It's not.
Yeah, I think if like the
back in our day,
cared,
back in our day, when we streamed 2Ks, 4Ks, these were all competitive online tournaments that meant really nothing when you look at the grand scheme of things with events, big events, MLG events, UMG events, whatever. Everybody had comms on. The OpTic Dynasty. They used to stream everything. Scrims included, all their talks, everything they're talking about, but they still went to the event and won. It didn't matter if people knew what they were doing. People are going to know what they're doing anyway. If people want to get VOD of somebody, they're going to get VOD of somebody anyway. For instance, if you scrim them once, boom, now you have VOD. Right? Like, it's not rocket science. These people need to stop acting like they're fucking simple playing in the fucking, in Counter-Strike in some big game that he's trying to hide shit for a major that's coming up. Like, the circumstances that they're in, the fact that so many of these guys are still blocking minimap and muting in it is pathetic. Clip it, TacticalRab. Throw it up on your fucking video, Rab, because we gotta do something, Rab, but I need your help. I need TacticalRab's help. We gotta do something about this shit.
Wow, Doug's...
We know Shotzzy's perspective on this. He said for a long time, look, I don't mind streaming our scrims from OpTic side because nobody can do what we do. You can see our POV, you can see our VODs, you're not going to be able to do anything about it. It's always cracked me up that Challengers players get so defensive about their super secret strategies and all this stuff. And as ZooMaa says, there's so many problems with that mentality, right? Now, I will say it's actually more of a problem, I think, in Europe than it is in North America. I mean, at least in these cups, the players don't tend to mind their POVs getting streams. Now, look, they may have questions on whether they want somebody in the lobby podcasting it, but just watching from their POV and broadcasting their perspective, you know, you can see obviously Doug here. ZooMaa's watching Doug's POV. The top left-hand side, you've got the mini-map. And look, you can see where his teammates are because that's how the game works. But sometimes the players want to hide the minimap so the people watching that are making notes, they don't get to see what their breakoffs are or some of their strats and all this stuff. And it's like, okay, I see the logic if you have 75 IQ points, but if you go a little bit higher than that, as ZooMaa says, it's pretty straightforward why this doesn't really matter. If you've scrimmed against a team, they now, if they want to, they can record all of that from their POV, and if they want to go through and note down all the moments where people were doing certain things and what the breakoffs looked like and where those guys went, they can do exactly that. Okay, we're sitting here watching from home, watching these matches. Look, you look at the Pro League, as soon as there's one pro match between teams, everything is broadcast. You get to see everything from those matchups from the codcaster. As I was saying, in Europe, often the players don't even want anything streamed at all, which to me is outrageous, like totally outrageous. Like, what's the point? What are we doing here, right? Is the intention of these guys to just stay in challenges and try and make effectively minimum wage by winning all the challenges tournaments for the season, make it to the World Cup and try and make some noise there? Like, is that the plan? Because if you don't stream anything, you're not going to get noticed, right? And ZooMaa says, look, at least it's good that these guys are streaming. They're willing to, you know, for people to watch their POV. It should be a no-brainer, obviously, but at least that is a decent baseline. But the idea of hiding up the minimap, and we've seen this for a long time now, maybe in Search and Destroy I kind of get it, but in the respawn modes, I just think it's so outrageous that this is like a common thing. But I think because some people started doing it, the other players think, oh, well, you know, I guess we'd better do it as well. And I suppose the argument is, well, at least you'll see in their POV so they can still get spotted and noticed and promoted. But I think it says something about the confidence of a team. I like Shotzzy's angle because it's like, well, we don't care. We'll show everything and we'll still be better than anyone. And whether you think that there is some disadvantage in that or not, the reality is that confidence that OpTic have to say those things. And for Shotzzy, obviously they're not going to stream all their practice all the time because streaming it can be distracting. You've got a Twitch chat to think about. You've got thousands of people that are going to call you out if you go 17 and 33. So, you know, those are other factors to consider. You're not going to stream every single practice set. But when you do, there's no real benefit in covering up the mini-map. My opinion is if you think you're not going to make it into the Pro League because people are going to find your struts or something from covering the mini-map, you just don't have what it takes to make it into the Pro League anyway with that mentality. So anyway, that was ZooMaa's POV. It's my take. Into your thoughts as ever in the comments section below. Thought this is a pretty cool way to close out the video. So very much enjoyed your thoughts on all this stuff in the comments. Hit the like button if you enjoyed. Subscribe if you're new. Take care. And I'll see you next time.